Alright, hello there people. Today we're doing a video on the most dangerous monsters in Lethal Company. Now we're going off of lethality, scare factor, and durability in this video. So if you don't agree with it, that's fine. Put down in the comments what you would reassemble it as, or which one would go where. But without further ado, let's actually get straight into this. So first off, we're going to go for Locusts. Now Locusts are straight into D tier, because Locusts have a lethality of 0, a scare factor of 0, and their durability is immune, but they can't do anything to you. And really, they're not actually that scary. They just buzz around and you could possibly mistake them for bees, but at the same time, bees stick close to a beehive, so it's not really that dangerous, that scary. So they're going straight into D tier. Now, on the next one is the Manticoil, and these are also going straight into D tier, because once again, they have a lethality of 0, a scare factor of 0, but they have a durability of 1, so they have actual health, so you can kill these birds, but honestly, wouldn't recommend it. Don't waste your energy on them. They can't really do anything to you, so leave them alone. Right, on to our next are circuit bees. Now, circuit bees, I would say, go straight into at least B tier, because circuit bees have a lethality of 3, a scare factor of 2, and their durability is immune. So this means that yes, they can kill you, but they'll do it slowly. Their scare factor, yes, they are slightly scary, because obviously when you pick up the beehive, you don't really want to be getting chased around by a bunch of bees getting angry at you, so they can be a bit scary, but not too bad. And their durability is immune, so it's going to be a little bit painful to actually get them onto the ship, but what you can do is you can just take the beehive to the back of the ship, dump it there, run away, and then when you set off the ship and you start taking off, go out of the ship and around to grab the beehive, and then you'll teleport back into the ship where you have a beehive. Now we're going to nighttime monsters. These were daytime ones, we're going to nighttime, and we're starting off with the Eyeless Dog. Now Eyeless Dog, personally, I would put straight into at least S tier. It's not the most dangerous monster in Lethal Company, but at the same time, it is very dangerous. It has a lethality of 5 because it just kills you instantly, even if it's just barely near you. No matter what, you're probably not going to get away from these things unless you're crouching. Scare factor is 3 because they're very large, you can see them clear as day, and all you need to do is just crouch around them, so it's not too bad. And their durability is 12, so they are killable. It's just you're going to need a full team of shovelers to smash that thing to death, because it is going to take a lot of work. That and a zap gun. So now we're going to move on to the Forest Keeper, or Giants as a lot of people call them. And these personally will be going into S tier as well, because they are pretty much on the same level as the Eyeless Dogs. They have a lethality of 5 because they can kill you in one hit. All they need to do is grab you, and they have a long range. They have a scare factor of 3 because obviously once again they're very large, but they can be quite terrifying and daunting on you as soon as they start chasing towards you. And they have a durability of immune because you're not killing these things. You can stun them, but honestly wouldn't recommend. You're just going to make them angry. Now, on to our next one is the Earth Leviathan. Now this will be going also into S tier. There's a lot of S tiers here. This is because it's once again very similar to the Eyeless Dog, and the Forest Keeper is more similar to the Forest Keeper because its lethality is 5, its scare factor is 4, it can one-shot you, and it can also pop up from the ground. Sometimes you just don't expect it to happen, and then suddenly, bang, you've been caught out by an Earth Leviathan. So it is quite scary. And the durability is immune, so there's no killing it. Nothing's going to help you if it's chasing after you, unless you get on your ship. So good luck to you if you've got one chasing you. Now, for our final nighttime creature, and the last one we're going to go over here, is the Baboon Hawk, which honestly I would put in a C tier. This is mainly because, so one is lethality is only a 2. If it's in a large group, larger than your group, they will attack you. Or if you get too close and aggravate them, they will most likely try and attack you if you aggravate them too much. But they have a scare factor of 1 because they just jump around. They try and avoid you. They're not that scary, and they're quite large, so you can see them from a distance. And their durability is 6, so they are quite easily killable as long as you just use a stun and you just whack them. Now, for the Snare Flea. Personally, the Snare Flea I would put at a B tier, because its lethality is 2. Yes, it will jump on your head unexpectedly, but they are quite easily killable. They're not too bad. If you walk out of the facility, they will just die. And if you whack them a couple times with a shovel, once again, they'll just die. Even if they are on your head and they're killing you, it will take them quite a while, so you have a chance of surviving if somebody has either a stop sign, danger sign, or they have a shovel. And their health is only 3, so it only takes 3 hits to kill these guys. So not really too bad. Their scare factor, however, is 3 because they do just drop from the ceiling. So if you don't see them, you're going to be having a bug drop on your head. So good luck to you. Now, next on our list is the Bunker Spider. Now, personally for me, I have arachnophobia. When I first encountered this guy, oh boy, did I cack my pants. But personally, I would put these in A tier. This is because they have a lethality of 3. This is because they are quite easily able to kill you, but obviously there are ways to avoid them, so don't stand in their spider webs and don't go towards them in their territory. They'll literally just sit on a wall and ignore you if you don't go near them. They have a scare factor of 4, which is because of the arachnophobia. A lot of people do have that, so it's it's scary. You can turn arachnophobia mode on though, which gets rid of the bunker spiders. But yep, scare factor of 4, and then durability of 5. You can kill them quite easily as long as you've got somebody with a shovel and somebody with a zap gun, so they're not the worst in the world to deal with. Alright, now next up we have the Hoarding Bug. Now the Hoarding Bug I would personally put at a B tier with the Snare Flea, because to be completely honest, they aren't that dangerous. They have a lethality of 2. This is because they won't attack you as long as you don't aggravate them. And even if you drop them a key, they will just go away and they won't attack you. They'll just leave you alone. And unless they're in a large herd, they really can't do much damage to you because they have a low amount of damage. Their scare factor is only a 2 because they're quite cute little critters, but they can be a little bit terrifying in large groups. And their durability is only 2, so 2 shovel hits and they die. So even if you're getting attacked by one, you can still kill them before they can kill you. So not really too bad. Alright, so we're getting into the dangerous territories now. Next up, we have the Bracken, which personally I would put at an S tier. Now the reason why I put an S tier and not an S plus tier is, yes, it has a lethality of 4. This is because it can literally grab you, take you away, and that instantly kills you, and has a scare factor of 5 because it's terrifying. It comes out of nowhere and you can't even hear the thing. But there are ways to avoid it, such as staring at it, looking away, or there is even a way to kill the thing, which it has a durability of 5, so only 5 shovel hits and a zap gun can kill the Bracken. So personally, I'd say it is an S tier, not an S plus tier. It's not too bad, not the worst thing to deal with, but at the same time, it is a bit of a pain. Next up, we have the Thumper. Now the Thumper, I would also put an A tier with the Bunker Spider. This is because it has a lethality of 3, because it doesn't really hit you that often, and it doesn't do that much damage when it hits you in comparison to some of the other creatures that we have on this list. So Thumpers, you can survive. Even if you just run out of the exit, you can survive it quite easily. I'm pretty sure if you jump up on banisters as well, there's a chance that it won't be able to reach you. So there's also another way that you could possibly survive it. I'm not sure if that's true though. Its scare factor is 4 because it's loud, it's chasing after you, and it's scary. You're running away from something that's like twice your size and is going to rip you inside out. So it's scary. And its durability is only 4, so it is quite easy to kill as long as you just have somebody with a zap gun or a stun grenade and you just got a few shovels to batter it. Now our next enemy here is Hydra Deer. Now Hydra Deer has a lethality of 5 because if you touch it once, you're dead. You're going to be eaten. There's no way to get your body back. You're done. Its scare factor is only 1. Because it's not really that scary. It's a big gelatinous blob, and its durability is immune, so this puts it comfortably at a B, because it's not really that dangerous. You can hop up on a banister and hide from it, but at the same time, if you do make the mistake of falling into it or even touching it slightly, you're instantly dead. So good luck to you if you accidentally touch it, but other than that, it's not too bad. So next up we have the Ghost Girl. Now, this one is going straight into S plus tier. The reason why, it has a lethality of 5 because it insta-kills you, and even running away from it isn't going to help you out very much because it can keep up with you. And you're going to run out of stamina at some point. Its scare factor is 5 because not only does it control the environment around you and just do some terrifying things whilst it's just tormenting you, but it also just chases after you randomly, so it is one of the most terrifying monsters in Lethal Company, and its durability is immune, so there's no killing it. However, there is a way to prevent it, which is wearing pajamas and using the shower, which are, I'm not sure if they're proven or if it's a myth that they do help out with paranoia. There is a chance that they will help you, so just in case, buy a shower, buy yourself some pajamas and just wear them whilst you're going into the most dangerous of territories, and even when you start getting into the really late game, sometimes they can be on the lower levels, so just be careful. Alright, next up we have the Spore Lizard. Now the Spore Lizard is just going straight into D tier. Honestly, it really isn't. Actually, no, you know what? C tier. Alright, so the reason why I'm putting it in C tier is because it has got a slight bit of lethality. There is a chance that it will hit you, but it can only do a very small amount of damage. It just tickles you. But it is able to spit a big puff of pink gas into your face, which you don't want spores in your face because if there's another monster chasing after you, you're not going to be able to see it coming. That's pretty scary, but the Spore Lizard has a scare factor of 1 because it's not scary. It runs around and squeaks and plods, and it is not really that bad. As soon as you see one, you might get a little jump, but it's going to run away from you, so there's no real point of actually being scared of this thing. And its durability is immune, so you can stand there and hit as much as you want, but it's not going to die. It's just instead going to spit spores in your face, so it's a bit ugh. Alrighty. Next up, we have the Nutcracker. Now, the Nutcracker is going into A tier. This is because it's a lethality of 4, because it can one-shot you, but there is a very easy way of avoiding it, which is just move out of the way of its shot. As long as you're constantly moving, it'll struggle to shoot you. Just make sure that you're not testing your luck, because there is a chance that it might nick you and actually kill you instantly, because even if it's just hitting you with the side of the shot, it will just crush you. Scare factor is a 4 because it's loud, it's clunky, you're going to hear it from a distance, but at the same time it is quite a scary thing to face because, as I said, it can one-shot you instantly, so it's a scary thing. And the durability is 5, so there is a way to kill this thing, and its shotgun is one of the best defense items in the game. It is so good at killing the monsters. So honestly, I'd recommend trying to kill the Jester. Don't be scared of it. Try and kill it because you will be able to go really far through the game if you have a Nutcracker shotgun. Right, so our next monster in Lethal Company is the Coil Head. Now the Coil Head, I will put straight into S. Now the reason why this isn't an S plus tier enemy is because you stare at it and it doesn't move. It's not really that lethal if you just stare at it, but obviously its lethality is still 4 because it can one-shot you instantly, and its scare factor is 5 because it's horrifying. You don't hear it until you stare at it or you're dead, because as soon as you stare at it, it does stop and its head just coils about and makes that sort of really twangy metallic noise. But it's also immune, you can't kill the thing. It's horrifying, so its scare factor is 5, its lethality is only 4 because as long as you stare at it, it's not going to kill you. So there are ways of getting around the Coil Head. Right, our next monster on this list is the Jester. Now the Jester is going straight into S plus rank. Reason why? It is pretty much the exact same reasons as the Ghost Girl. It has a lethality of 5 because it can one-shot you, and it is very quick. When it starts up, it's not that quick, but once it picks up speed, you're dead. 100% guaranteed. Its scare factor is a scare factor of 5. The reason for this is because, once again, it's very fast and it torments you. It slowly just sits there and cranks itself up until it pops out of its jack-in-the-box shell, and all you see is a big skull with a massive brain on the inside, a bunch of blood vessels drooping down from that, and it just chases after you at lightning speed. So no matter what, you're gonna be terrified of this thing. Its durability is also immune, so you can't kill the thing either whilst it's in its little cranking mode, and it's pretty much impossible to escape the thing if you're inside of the building, unless you get outside of the building and wait for it to reset. Now for our final monster, we have the Masked. Now the Masked, we're going to put this at an S rank. Now the reason for this is because its lethality is 5. If it grabs you, you're dead, because it's going to hold you, it's going to puke black liquid into your face and in your mouth, and you're going to be possessed by the Masked next. It is gross, it is horrifying, and it is quite literally just, it's gross, it's horrid. But its scare factor is only a 3 because it's pretty easy to tell the difference between somebody wearing a big white mask and somebody not. And also there is a really easy way of avoiding the mask, which is just not picking up the mask and dying with it or wearing it. If you don't wear the mask or you don't pick up the mask, you're not going to have problems with the mask. But its durability is 4, so there is a way to kill it, as long as you just make sure that you're using Zap Gun and then you just whack it with a shovel and you should be fine. Now I know that these two aren't monsters, but they are on this tier list. We have the Mine and the Turret. Now the Turret will go straight into A tier. Now the reason why it's in A tier is because it has a lethality of 4. Now the reason why it's at a lethality of 4 is because it can kill you very easily. If you accidentally mistake it for something else or you just run out in front of it, there's a high chance that you're just going to die instantly, as long as it hits you with, like, I think like even one bullet can just kill you instantly. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure how much damage it has, but it will just destroy your entire day. It has a scare factor of 3 because they're pretty easy to spot. They have a larger light on them as soon as you go around them, and they do have the laser pointer as well, where you can see exactly where it's facing. You can also turn them off so they're not that hard to deal with unless you have nobody at the ship. But they also have a durability of immune, so you're not getting rid of these things. And now finally we have the Landmine. Now personally, I'd put the Landmine in a C tier. This is because the Landmine personally isn't really too big of a deal. You can avoid them so easily. They might be in the middle of a corridor, which blocks you off from getting through that corridor, but at the same time, you can deactivate them. It's not too bad. If you do stand on one, if you deactivate it by somebody at the ship, you're going to survive. They're also really good at killing monsters, so if you are getting chased by one and your team are trying to run away from it, make someone the sacrifice and just go and have them hop on a landmine. It's honestly sometimes the funniest thing. It has a lethality of 5 because it does insta-kill you, and it is very easy to accidentally stand on one because they aren't the most obvious of things, especially when you're being chased by a monster. They do make quite a loud noise, but they don't do it very often. They do have the little red light on them as well, which you can see sometimes, but once again, they're a little bit difficult to spot every now and then, and you will just stand on them. Their scare factor, I'd say, is personally a 2. They are scary when you see one, because if you accidentally stand on them, you know you're dead. It's also terrifying to be blocked off by a landmine when you're getting chased by something terrifying. And their durability, so I mean, I guess it would be a durability of 1 then, in that case, but honestly, it's just not too sure. So anyways, that's the full tier list. Down here we have the creator of this tier list, so thank you for the tier list. And after that, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm hoping to do a lot more Lethal Company videos, so I'll go over different strategies and things like that. The last video did pretty well, so I do thank you lot for watching that one. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to turn on that notification bell for more videos like this. And yeah, for a first tier list video, I think this went pretty alright, so let's hope for more in the future, eh? Cheers for watching. I'll see you lot in the next one in a bit.